YouTube, I'm back. Yeah, so 2 nights in a row on the Bucky. No, I'm not doing that again. I might have to do some. Maybe I have to do it before download. Try and build up some sort of tolerance. Yeah, I was pure dead yesterday. I'm alive again though. So the monster in the room is the VOX AC3O, which I am, to be honest, I think storing for my pal. And I got it. Been sitting in my hole for the last couple of days. So I thought Vox, Craig from After the End said, "This is Brian May's guitar." It's like, well, so Vox, Brian May's guitar. There we go. So I was just had a look at it and I was like, God, I suppose I'll try and do a video on it. It's going to be so loud though. And I just kind of plugged it in there, make sure the mic was working and all that I had in the headphone. It's actually, I was running through my pedal board thinking I could tame it a bit, but I'm just going straight into it and thinking about it. The wee orange is a 30 watt 1x12 and it's completely usable in here. Okay, it's got a 2x12 cabinet, but it's still just a 30 watt. It's probably not that dissimilar to the orange, so it's physically quite big, but actually, so what I'm really noticing is it actually does do volumes that you can handle in the house quite well. Like, yeah, that's me just going straight into it, no effects at all. There is, I've got a wee bit of a camera set up there, so I'll point out what the bits are and shout over at you, because I don't have the radio mic on, although I could probably put the radio mic on. There's one that's straight up. That doesn't need to stick that, but it's this one here I need. I'll just shout. This cable's not very long. I had a great idea about that cable. The cable was too long. I thought it was quite a cool green cable. What I'll do is I'll cut it in half, give half to Jen, because it looks good with some of the J-Pax guitars because it's green. It's just too short for this purpose. It's perfect for going to a pedal board, but once it's got to go up there into an amp, not quite long enough. So we've got master volume and a tone cut. So I'll just put that at 12 o'clock. Master volume's not that very much. So I'll start at the normal side then. Over here we've got 4 inputs, low and high, and then one with whatever top boost is. Then just a normal volume top boost, which I've not been into, but it's like a second channel with a bass, treble and volume, reverb, tone and level, and tremolo, speed and depth. So we've got yes, this is too short a lead. Yes, I need to have a lead, to dig out another lead. So I'm to be honest, I'm just loving that sound just plugged straight in into the lowest input channel and just having the volume not on it very much. That's reverb. Half the reverb. Put the tremolo, both dials to half, see what happens. See, the thing is, it's like, I remember having my pal Gav Hodge was talking about Behringer pedals, and he bought a tremolo pedal thinking that it's a very simple thing. All it's doing is putting the volume up and down a wee bit. So just having the Behringer one probably sounds the same. All he's doing is making the volume pulse. No, it doesn't work that way. It's the same with phasers as well. I've got a phaser pedal, like a Joyo one, and my ex-pal had was it an MXR one or something like that. And it's the same knob, but it wasn't the same thing. That's a much nicer tremolo than you get from the cheapy pedals. Mind you, I quite like the tremolo that came out of my pal's, that yellow stereo, Ibanez 70s stereo sound pedal. That was a really nice tremolo as well. So maybe I'll get into tremolo. Maybe it's got to be valve tremolo. I mean, I'll be totally honest, right now I'm looking at this, I know what my pal paid for this, and at the price he got this for, which I think it looks pretty much brand spanking new, I'd maybe get that for the orange second hand sort of thing. I'd kind of almost be able to just sell that and buy one of these, assuming that it wasn't a pure ridiculous half price super bargain. I think it wasn't very much, considering how big it is. I just thought it was going to be a much bigger. Maybe I just assumed that it wasn't going to start working until it was pumping. Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously you can gig with an AC30 up at full bung, but probably I wasn't really aware that the amp kind of has abilities for people who are not playing a gig with drums. Do you know what I mean? You could have it as a house amp or a wee rehearsal type amp rather than being just for gigging. Which I feel the Sovtech suffers a wee bit from. That's without when my pal's got all these power brakes and stuff like that, so he can run it up. You know, he's all about trying to get the gain stage. I'm just talking about getting one that sounds good, that sounds amazing, even if it's either clean or distorted sort of thing. I suppose I'll have to try the top boost channel, see what that does, and I'll have to try the high end one. Just be very careful not to overload the mic. Top boost channel, this lead's not long enough. I'm going to say that 25 times in this video. Top boost. Right. Volume, push, put treble and bass at 0. Even though I'm quite enjoying the treble, I'm going to turn it off. I wonder if you could just use like an AB pedal to like manually switch between the channels. There's 4 inputs. I wonder if you could get like a splitter and then just literally have a 2-channel amp that's foot switchable. Saying that, there could actually be it's the sort of thing that would be activated by a foot switch, isn't it? I don't know if it would work with the 2 inputs. But it sounds pretty amazing. I'll try and get the volume down low but have some gain on it. And the thing is, it's doing that at relatively quiet volumes. It goes to the point that that's just where the speakers are starting to move. My Queen repertoire is pathetic. I can't really play any Queen at all. The thing is, I mean, okay, I've got the reverb up too high for that now. Which one's? I'm not sure. This one actually might end up being quite a decent. I was already 10 minutes in. Damn. Okay, I'll try and make it a 50-minute video. Obviously, this is meant for playing in the rehearsal room along with a band, but it sounds flipping amazing just as in the house. It sounds great. And this is not at excessive volumes. I've not got any pedals plugged into it. I'm just running it completely on its own. It's just, it passes that, just kind of put the knobs at 12 o'clock and then turn the volume down and then plug a guitar in. It sounds brilliant. That's really, so you're already starting off with a bass, a BASE, really good sound. So any tweaking you do just makes it better, rather than plugging in and going, oh, how can I make this sound good? Starts off sounding good. And that's very voxy distortion. It's one of those things that's tempting to say it's probably the most VOX AC3O sounding amp I've ever played through. I've played through plenty of amps that have been said to be VOX AC3O or simulators and all that, and that is what they're all trying to do. And it's like, it does have its own wee thing. I would even have said the best ones at emulating it are the wee Jen just painted one, the VOX 25 watt, whatever it is. When you're into the VOX, it's quite good. They do sound kind of like it. Obviously, it's tubes and much better, but a lovely wee amp. It's now a wee amp. It looks flipping huge. I would have always gone for the AC15 because it's a nicer size. 2x12 is a big beast, but if you're playing in a band, you don't need to run it into any other cabinets or anything like that. Even something like that, I would be running that, and if it was a decent sized gig, I'd take the 3x12, or if there was a cabinet there, use it. I assume it's two 12-inch, but with two 12-inch speakers. There are some downsides to it. I would say it's like why it's, if it came, I'm now sitting here in my head, even though I've been talking and playing the guitar, I've been thinking, should I maybe sell the Orange and get one of them? I don't like the knobs on the top. There's a reason for it. So if you take the head unit and then flip it on its back, that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is to flip it so because obviously the tubes and stuff all hang down. So if you flip it on its back, that's why it's that way around. So as you noticed there, when I was trying to peer over the top, you can see it looking in that picture. All the knobs are upside down. So see when it actually says what it does. I'm trying to move my finger over that other video. Yeah. So it says in there what it is it does. So you're looking at it, and when you're looking over the top of the amp, especially when I've got it up, it's up at chest height. Looking over the top, I can see, there's knobs, and I can see that it's in a group of 1, 3, because I can only see, and then I can see the knobs, and I can see what they're set to, and then I can see that some of the knobs say volume and speed and stuff, and then as I lean right over the top, it says master volume. Right, so now I know it's the master volume. That's annoying, but I mean, you can't. Arguably, if you took the VOX AC3O and then did flip the panel upside down and made it like this, so the amp hangs down the back of the speakers, that's not a VOX AC3O. VOX AC3O hasn't got the knobs on top, so that would just be my gripe against any amps that have knobs on top. That's why my wee Laney doesn't get the action it deserves. I really like the switches on the Orange, to be honest. I think they're kind of the same. Yeah, I'd pretty much go for the exact same switches that the on and standby switch are on the Vox. But I quite handy having that. I quite like having them on the front, just like, and you can see it with an orange light, so you know it's on. The Vox again suffers from the same problem as the wee Laney has. I could be playing a guitar, sit down, end up watching Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then 9 hours later, the amp's still on because I didn't know it was on, but that's got a big orange light on it, so you can go, oh, the amp's on, I better turn it off. Practical things. I'd probably also put wheels on it. It does have the Vox handles on it, which I don't know whether all Voxes have them, but the ones that are kind of on the top so you can carry it between two people. These ones on the shoulders, which actually I put on the bass amp it's sitting on top of. It goes to show you how compact that bass amp is when it sits in there. You know, looking at the Vox, it's big. I don't know how much bigger it is than the 15. The 15 doesn't seem that big, but I think, see, even only being, you know, a couple of inches wider and deeper just makes it that much more awkward and, you know, overwhelming. I don't know if I've ever really noticed that a Vox has a... Maybe it's the way the light's hitting it. The grill cross from where I'm looking at it looks very green. It's like green stripes on a brown backdrop. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't even turn on the main... I assume the low input is similar to the Sovtech low input where you're using half the output valves or something. So probably kind of like the half power switch on the orange. But I mean, that's like totally... What a great recording level. And I've realised, like, playing with the expensive guitars, it really does show off every single mistake. Yeah, but that's the difference in the way it's overdriving it with that the Marzio and the single coil bridge. It is definitely some sort of listen to it there. It's definitely not a proper single coil. That bridge pickup. It's dead clinical sounding. Not slagging it off, but it's kind of, it's not very rock and roll. It's very more Steve Vai. It just ends too quickly. Too accurate. Try a tremolo. I might actually dig out my... It's not a Behringer, I can't remember what make my tremolo pedal is, and just see if I can actually... It's got something, it's something... Obviously try full speed. So fast you can't hear it. Then the other half of me says that tremolo is quite an important, and the reason it was so well used in so many great recordings is because there weren't any other effects you could use. You basically had reverb, which was like old school reverb, which basically you put a speaker at one end of the bathroom and a microphone at the other, and then you do that, and then the echoey sound comes in, and you tremolo on your amp. So there you go. Have you got the effects? I've got all the effects. Really? You get tremolo? Yep. Rocking. But yeah, it's a lovely amp. And aside that whole thing, I'm just I assume this, it looks brand new. I assume it's modern and Chinese. Don't know. I mean, it is a VOX AC3O. It's like... It's exactly what I hoped it would be, and kind of what I thought it would be. Well, not really what I thought it would be. I was expecting a more, maybe it's because all the ones I've played through have been older, and you know they're a bit more like that Marshall amp. You turn it on, it's all hissing and buzzing, and you know it's for playing along on a drum kit because there's that much static and shit that you can't really play it in the house. That thing's dead silent, and it's running really well at these these quiet volumes. I don't even want to plug it into the full size output power. I'll just overload everything. But I do like it, and it is quite cool. A VOX AC30. I don't know if it needs the trip. I mean, it's amazing how it can't. I don't know how accurate it is. I mean, it can't be accurate. Basically, there's no way that the ones you got, like Rory Gallagher's one in this 1970 sounded like that, had that ability to go to that crunch. Well, probably did the tremolo, but there's no way. I don't think. I think that's maybe a modern iteration where you're maybe did they always have a master volume? Maybe. I'm not sure. So it's maybe a modern interpretation, but I'd imagine the actual circuit's probably pretty much the same. There's a Telecaster sound. As suspected, that's me still in the low input. I've just put the volume up to 1 instead of half of 1. And as expected, now that I've turned it back down again, now that I've heard the glorious full sound, it's like, oh no, it's really stifled, but it sounds pretty good anyway. Just gonna test. Does it still sound good on the headphones? Pretty much, yeah. That's like the difference between the bridge pickup and the neck pickup. This is an awful good sounding guitar. It's an awful good sounding amp. So I mean, I suppose the first test the thing is, would that do? Damn right it would. Yes. If it was one of those Anderton's videos where your they've crashed into your van, it's been locked, so you've got £1,000 to get yourself a gigging rig, I'd totally buy that amp if it was at that price in the used section, 100%, and then have £750 to buy an FGN, or £500 to buy an FGN, and £250 to buy, I don't know, what would I look for? £250 bass? Would I want a £250 bass? Maybe an Ibanez Talman? Maybe. Get a bass as well as a guitar. Or just both 750 on the 650. Rock on, VOX AC30s, they're cool, and yes, I would totally have one. I would rather have, it wouldn't replace the orange because it's bigger. I'd rather have the 1x12, also knobs on the front, big difference, knobs on the top, shite, although it does have reverb and tremolo, but both of things are very nice. Yes, rocking. In fact, it's actually just as well, I'm just adding on wee extra bits, shit, you know what I'm talking about, having the, they'll put the knobs at 12 o'clock and turn it on, it's got a great sound, just as well really, because all it's got is a tone. In the top boost there's a bass and a treble, but in the normal channel it's just that there's not that much EQ. In saying that, neither does the orange. The orange only has bass and treble on the clean channel, and shape is all, and gain and volume on the dirty channel. So it's a similar sort of thing where you just plug it in and it's just a good sound. Here we go, alter it slightly via pedals or whatever. And I'll stop talking now. Rock on! Like and subscribe.